People always say Finnish is this impossibly difficult language, but I think it's just misunderstood. See, I don't think it's about memorizing a bunch of crazy, complicated rules. It's more about learning to think in a new way. Kind of like solving a puzzle, where all the pieces fit together perfectly. And to show you what I mean, let's just jump right in with a little challenge. Right off the bat, here's the challenge. How would you build this simple invitation, "Come with me to my house"? In Finnish, of course. Now, it might look a little daunting, but I promise, by the time we're done here, you'll see it's really just about knowing which building blocks to snap together.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the absolute basics, how to make an invitation. Then, we'll learn how to describe the world around us. After that, we'll talk about the past, plan for the future, and finally, we'll put all those pieces together to see a real conversation in action.
All right, let's do this. Section 1. Every good conversation has to start somewhere, and a simple invitation is a great place to begin. So let's build that first sentence, and then we'll learn a super simple trick to make sure the other person actually knows what you're talking about.
Okay, think of these like Lego bricks. Seriously. This slide lays it out for us. Tulkaa is your main action block. It means come, but in a polite, formal way. Minun kanssani, that's your who block, with me. And kotini is your where block, to my home. See? Each one has a very specific job.
And click! This is what you get when you snap them all together. Tulkaa minun kanssani kotiin. Notice how clean that is? No little extra words cluttering things up, just 3 solid blocks that make one complete thought. Go on, give it a try. It's got a nice flow to it, doesn't it?
So you've invited them over, now what? You gotta make sure they actually understood you, right? In English, we do this weird thing where we flip the words around. You have understood becomes have you understood. Well, Finnish is way more efficient. You just grab this handy little question particle, ko, and stick it onto the verb. Olette becomes oletteko. That's it. So simple.
And what if the answer is no? Well, that's just as straightforward. Where we say I have not, Finnish uses this neat 2-word package, in ole. So the whole thing is, ei en ole ymmärtänyt teitä. It's perfectly clear, polite, and just really efficient.
Awesome. We've got the basics of an invitation down. Now let's see how we can use this same block-building logic to talk about the world. Let's start painting a picture with words, talking about family, places, and even things we like.
Here's a perfect example. Again, look for the blocks. Isa means father, and that little ni tacked on the end, that just means my. It's a super common pattern, a really slick way to show ownership right on the noun itself.
Okay, get ready for a little mind bender. It's not hard, just different. In English, we use prepositions. They come before the noun, like near the ocean. While Finnish often uses postpositions. The word comes after. So you get Tunen meren lähellä, which literally translates to Pacific Ocean's near. It's just a different way of seeing the world. You name the big thing first, then say where you are in relation to it.
Okay, this is one of my absolute favorite things about Finnish. It's so cool. When you say you like something, the grammar itself is kind of poetic. The thing you like gets a special ending, sta, which carries the idea of moving from something. So when you like a movie, what you're really saying grammatically is that you are getting good feelings from that movie. And here's what that looks like in a real sentence. Me tykkäämme tuosta elokuvasta paljon. See that sta on the end of the word for movie, elokuva? That's it. That's the magic right there, signaling that the movie is the source of all that liking. The grammar is actually telling you the emotional direction. How cool is that?
We've been talking about the here and now, so let's fire up the time machine and look back. It's time to learn how to share stories and talk about things that have already happened.
Let's take a look at a really simple story. You can spot the main building block right away, oli, which means was. The structure is actually pretty familiar, isn't it? You set the scene, when my son was small, and then you say what was going on. Now, what if you couldn't do something in the past? In English, that's a whole mouthful. We haven't been able to. But in Finnish, yep, it's another one of those elegant, compact phrases. Emme ole is we have not, and voineet basically means been able. Clean, efficient. And what about sharing an experience, like seeing a movie a few times? The Finnish for this is just so wonderfully direct. Olemme nähneet is we have seen, sen is it, and kolme kertaa literally means 3 times. There's absolutely no confusion there.
All right, past and present are covered. Time to look ahead.
Section 4 is all about the future. How to make plans and talk about what you're gonna do.
Here we go. Another one of those cool mindset shifts. Finnish doesn't really have a dedicated future tense like our will do. Instead, you just state your intention very clearly, and the key word you need to know for this is aion, which simply means I intend. It's a much more active, direct way to talk about what's coming up. And this slide right here shows you exactly what I mean. An English speaker might say, I am going to take the train. It's about a future plan. But a Finn is more likely to just state the action in the present tense, as if it's a decision that's already in motion. Menen junalla Acapulcoon. I go by train to Acapulco. This isn't just about swapping words, it's a whole different, more direct way of thinking.
Okay, this is it, the moment we've been building up to. We've collected all of our blocks. We can invite, describe, talk about the past, and state our intentions for the future. So now, let's see them all work together in a real, practical little conversation.
Here we go. Speaker A kicks things off by just stating a fact, laying out the problem that needs to be solved. You don't know the address, but I know it. It's clear, direct, and it sets the stage for what comes next.
And boom, here comes the response from Speaker B. And would you look at that? There's our keyword, I tend. I intend to give it to you. Speaker B is clearly stating their plan, their future action to solve the problem. That's the intentional future we just talked about, right there in the wild.
And the conversation wraps up with a simple, direct command from Speaker A. Kirioitakase. Write it. And the loop is closed. A problem was identified, a solution was offered, and an instruction was given. Communication complete. So, seeing how all these pieces just click together so logically, it really makes you think, doesn't it? What if getting fluent isn't about memorizing endless, boring grammar tables? What if it's just about learning how to think a little differently and how to build amazing things with a whole new set of blocks?